Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to Facebook Live Talk Recovery Radio. Here's Darren, here's Francis. It's personal story time with Mo. We come to you live from the downtown east side every Thursday. It's my turn to do the Facebook Live, and we're going to be interviewing Mo. Hope you like our show. If you want to be a guest, send us a message on Facebook. So, Darren, we're going to cut it out. Alright, going live in 10 seconds.
And welcome back to Talk Recovery. We are back in studio downtown Hastings and Columbia. And it's personal story time, so we're going to head right into personal story with Mo and Giuseppe.
Hello, Darren. Thank you. Hello, Mo. Welcome
Hi,
to Talk Recovery. Just going to look at the board. There we go. A little bit too loud there. And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here. And I know Mo from the recovery community, and every Thursday we invite guests to tell us about their journey in recovery and how that's been and what it's like today. So we're going to ask you, how did you get into recovery? What's a little bit of your background?
I guess it would start, I was brought to New West, the community, to me of recovery through quite a long journey of active addiction, and starting at a very young age. I came from a very good family, lots of support, but there was always behaviors, there were always things that were unexplained, and really the road was kind of inevitable in front of me. No matter what twist or turn I took, I always was in some form, I guess, of shame, guilt, and despair. And through that journey, through my early teens, of course, getting into crime, of course, demoralization of myself, active addiction takes you to dark places. And, no matter how much I strived to get out of that, whether through education, whether through institutions, whether through medications, geographical changes, business opportunities, I just burnt it down constantly over and over again, up until I started actually realizing that there was something wrong with me, that the medical system or psychiatrists or nothing could do, and I was brought actually from Ontario to BC.
So you're originally from Ontario?
I am from Ontario.
I'm from Ontario too.
Yeah.
Using sucks in Ontario.
Oh, active addiction sucks in Ontario. Especially where it was a breeding ground. Not my best, my best. Yeah. But and from there, when I came out to BC, that is actually where I got educated on recovery. And I'm not saying that, I wasn't through the running gate very successful. Of course, jails, institutions, and death. Addiction brought me to some really gnarly, dark places. But getting into the system, and then actually through many rehabilitation centers, and people that helped me along the way.
So how many times did you end up going to treatment?
I've been in treatment in BC, completing 2 official treatment stays.
So a couple of times?
Yeah.
You said something earlier that you finally realized that there was something wrong with you. How many times did people tell you there was something wrong with you before you actually figured out there was something wrong with you?
Since birth.
Since birth, yeah,
same
thing.
I was different, and I'm telling you, if it wasn't, my mother was an educator for 40 years and worked with disabled kids, and drug addict, like in the industry, and if it. I mean, here's a person that was on my side batting for me, and like how many times was I institutionalized or taken to psychiatrists because something was the matter with this kid.
Yeah. And
you know what? And it was scary because death was I was getting to the point now in my, I turned 40 this year, and I got into recovery at 39. So that's a big majority of my life, searching through the concept of, I mean, and I searched the earth. I traveled the world looking at whether it was energy medicine, whether it was chakra healing. Christ, I licked trees, you know, like, I mean, like I wanted
Did you
to...
say licked trees?
Oh man, I was you know, I've tried everything to try to fill that void inside.
And all those helped you to get where you're at today.
You know what? They were a Band-Aid, but it wasn't until I came out to BC and got a taste of recovery in my first treatment center, and was like, which to me was a great stepping stone, but it wasn't until I moved to the New West community and really got a taste of and the help and the guided help, because I this is coming from like how, you know, throw me off a bridge. Like, I've had enough of this. I'm peaking at my age. I've burned several relationships and businesses down. I mean, I've had enough. Like, tag me out of this. I can't handle
So you were
this.
done.
I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't until by the grace of the universe that I was brought to New West, literally pretty much in an ambulance, and through the detox system, and through basically, you know, I've tasted every rock bottom
Do
there
you
is.
feel you've been rescued?
Not rescued, led. I was brought to New West, guided because of the recovery, and because I it's not rescued, wouldn't be the word. I would say, like, or maybe it is the word. I'm not sure.
So there's some people listening that are in recovery, but there's also some people that are listening that might have a loved one out there that's still using and so forth. And we talked really briefly that you also have some experience in self-help groups that are part of the friends and family groups and so forth, not just your own recovery. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in the 20 months that I have been in recovery in New West, you know, through the NA Fellowship, the 12-step program has absolutely changed my life. And just it took something that was so broken and helped me rebuild myself in such a short time to, I mean, I must say myself, to a pretty cool, outstanding woman today.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like,
it's gonna be proud of that.
I am proud of that, and because I fought for my life, and but now I have something to stand for. Now I have something to represent, and that is recovery and the 12-step program and helping women, and it's hope. It's hope that, you know, for considering I'm at the age I'm at this year and got clean at 39 years of age, and I survived the first part of my life, by a thread, and now I have a total destiny, you know, a belonging, a belief system, and a community. I belong to something today, and it's recovery, and it's fun.
Yeah, when I took my cake a little while ago, I remember something that came to me, which is just like, you know, waking up with purpose.
Exactly.
It's so much better than waking up high.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and I just, you know, it's kind of like, you know, but doing this show, it's like, oh, I got a purpose today, and hopefully somebody, you know, every once in a while, Francis and I and Darren are somewhere, it's like, oh, I listen to your show, and it helps me, and we're kind of like, oh my God, you listen? You know, it's like, you don't think anyone's listening, and it just feels pretty cool that we are, like you're saying, leaders and helping people get led into a new way to live. And so your family and your relationships and everyone that you're surrounded by, you had mentioned something that you go to Al-Anon. So do you have like loved ones that are still using, or what was that for?
I come from a line of addiction in my family. I'm the first one to represent recovery on a proud level, and Al-Anon has helped my family members. And actually, at the beginning of December, I'm flying home and doing a talk with an Al-Anon group in my hometown, which is going to be pretty scary because it's like it's not New West, and so I'm bringing I'm spreading the recovery.
You're got too much recovery on you. Slow it down.
I mean, I love it, and it's spreading the message, and you know what, my parents and my family can stand tall today because they have a daughter who represents recovery, not that active addiction or that stigma, you know, and I live it every day, and I pass it on. And that's what the beauty of this program and this community is all about, is spreading the message, you know, and that's what keeps me clean. Yeah.
So, you know, people that are just catching us on air, what are some of the things that you did to get to where you're at? Because there's a lot of people out there that are still using it and are nowhere near where you're at. So what are some of the key things that you did to get to where you're at?
Got off the street, got to a detox center, listened to the help that was given to me, just kind of ate the breadcrumbs along the way, and then I got into an amazing recovery house where a team, a community, a village surrounded me, and I started doing the 12-step program, and basically just cleaned house and got downloaded and reloaded, and you know, now I'm living a really cool spiritual life, which if I would never take anything back to get to the point where I am sitting across from you today, Giuseppe, talking about recovery. Like, I do not even regret my active addiction to be at this point today, because I know now that I have the rest of my life to
That's such a cool feeling.
have fun.
I remember when I got an early recovery, I was like kind of like, oh my God, what have I done? And now I'm kind of like, it happened, and now I can move on. Just like how I can forgive somebody else and not judge someone else for what they're doing. And, you know, sometimes I hear stories of what people have done in their past, and my partner or someone I know that's not really in recovery or an addict, they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, it's okay. You know, it's just like, it is what it is. We all do crappy things, and that's just life, and hopefully we'll move on. I remember one day vividly with you. It was a sports day in our community, and we were playing sports, and it's so hot out, like it's just hot. And, you know, addicts have a really hard time with just a little bit of stuff, even when they're in recovery. And so there's like 50 or 100 watermelons, right? And it's just like, I just see all these watermelons, and there you are cutting them away, and I was just like, holy smokes, that's a lot of watermelons. But, you know, we're just like having fun, and you know, that day was important for recovery, because it's kind of one of those things that we lose sight of in the way we're dealing with substance use disorder in British Columbia today. It's like, we need to have fun. Like, how important was that day for your recovery?
Well, fun is key in my recovery, and community is key in my recovery, because I'm never alone. Like, I have, as you said, purpose today, you know, being a part of, because I mean, it's like the representation of, like, this is what recovery looks like. Recovery is family and love and freedom, and you know, having compassion in a time when things aren't so compassionate.
So it's not about the watermelon.
No.
Or cutting it perfect. Because I think I said, we should cut it this way. But it's just about from a new guy that's detoxing, you know, he's been there for like 3 hours, to somebody with multiple or decades clean, all kind of blended together. And we're all equal and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's really important that I'm glad that you're part of our recovery community, because it's important to have connection and so forth. So, you know, what were some of your struggles in the beginning to get here?
Staying alive. Yeah. Up in, I mean, like, I was like, you know, really, it was getting to this recovery community, like that's what saved my life. Like, I mean, like, really, there was nothing, this was it. You know, if it wasn't for the 911 or the psych ward or the detox center or the person, or walking through the doors of the recovery house, and them taking my hand, because I had nowhere to go. I had nothing. Okay. Yeah.
Well, we're talking to Mo. I really appreciate you being honest with us and telling us your story. And, you know, any advice you got for any moms and dads out there that still have a loved one that's using?
Yeah. Get them to a meeting. Talk to someone. Get them a meeting list. Because once you enter these meetings, you're going to meet people who are in recovery, and then those people in recovery are going to have that language, and you know, and get to you know, a recovery house, whether for boys or girls, men or women. You know, there's the recovery houses and treatment centers. They save lives.
They do save lives.
They save lives.
Yeah, we all try to save lives. So you said you're 20 months in recovery. So when's your clean day?
April 19th.
April 19th. So
Yeah.
you'll be having your 2-year cake.
I am.
I'm gonna bring watermelon to your
Yeah,
2-year
actually,
cake.
I had fruit skewers. My mom flew in for my 1-year cake and
Oh,
made fruit skewers.
Oh, well, that's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not into cake.
You're not into cake?
No cake.
Yeah, I got diabetes now, but I'm still into cake. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
give me cake, give me cake, give me lots of cake.
So much cake.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate you being on air. Thank you so much, Mo. And
Thank
we'll support you through all of this and hopefully stay connected. So today, you're working in the field?
I am working at the house that I cleaned up at, and I'm doing what I love.
And that's where you got clean at?
At the Westminster House.
Perfect.
And in New West, and I am now working there. And not only that, I also, in conjunction with that, am working as a holistic therapist in recovery on a sideline.
Wow.
So I'm living the dream. I'm telling you, you know, one step at a time.
The gifts of recovery. Thank you so much, Mo.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to pass it on to Darren now. Darren, how are we ending our show today?
Well, we're going to, I think, go to a little Canadian band called the Rio Statics. This song is Dope Fiends and Booze Hounds. Please enjoy. Thanks for listening.